Good morning, students. Let us continue with this particular lesson. Types of World Heritage Sites. Okay, World Heritage Site. We have seen in the previous part what is a World Heritage Site, an area or a monument which is either naturally or culturally very important or significant. So significant and so important that a need is felt to preserve it for the future generations, and that is why special efforts are made by the World Heritage Committee in order to conserve and preserve it. As of 2009, there are 890 World Heritage Sites that are located in 148 countries. 689 of these sites are cultural, man-made, and includes places like the Sydney Opera House in Australia and Historic Centre of Vienna in Austria. 176 are natural and feature such locations as the US Yellowstone and Grand Canyon National Parks. I am sending 4 videos, and you will have one video related to the US Yellowstone and Grand Canyon National Park. Very beautiful to look at. Naturally, these are natural World Heritage Sites. 25 of World Heritage Sites are considered mixed. That means they are significant because of their natural characteristic feature as well as some kind of man-made structures are also there, and civilization prevailed here, and that's why it comes under mixed category. Peru's Machu Picchu is one of these. Italy has the highest number of World Heritage Sites with 44. India has 36, 28 cultural, 7 natural and 1 mixed, and the entire list of these children is given in the history textbook, and I have sent you PPTs related to these 28 cultural, 7 natural and 1 mixed World Heritage Site. I hope all of you have gone through it. World Heritage Committee has divided the World Heritage countries into 5 geographical zones. Geographic zones which include Africa, Arab states, Asia Pacific including Australia and Oceania, Europe and North America, and Latin America and the Caribbean. So in order to make their task easy and convenient, they have divided the entire world's countries into 5 geographic zones. World Heritage Sites in danger. Like many natural and historic cultural sites around the world, many World Heritage Sites are in danger of being destroyed or lost due to war, poaching, natural disasters like earthquakes, uncontrolled urbanization, heavy tourist traffic, environmental factors like air pollution and acid rain. For example, if we take the example of Taj Mahal in India, the very pure white color marble which was being used in order to construct the Taj Mahal has turned pale yellow over a period of time. So one of the main reasons for this is environmental pollution. Okay, so due to illegal hunting, and several other reasons, natural disasters, uncontrolled urbanization is increasing of the city area. The World Heritage Sites are in danger. Poaching is illegal hunting. So World Heritage Sites are in danger are inscribed on a separate list of World Heritage Sites. So if it is felt that these World Heritage Sites are in danger, they are put up on a separate list, which allows the World Heritage Committee to assign resources from World Heritage Fund to that site. अगर उनको लग रहा है कि ये बहुत ही danger में है, more funds are required for preserving it, that is allocated. Those resources are allocated, and the World Heritage Committee makes every effort in order to conserve and preserve that site. In addition, different plans are put into place to protect and to restore to bring it back to normalcy, re-establish the site. If, however, a site loses the characteristics which allowed for it to be originally included on World Heritage List, the World Heritage Committee can choose to delete the site from the list. Supposing there is a particular organism which is unique to that particular forest area. and because of that, once upon a time, that site was considered to be important and included in the World Heritage Site. But later on, due to different reasons, that particular animal or organism could not be preserved and it has become extinct. Then there is no point in giving that particular status of World Heritage Site because that particular organism now no longer exists. So then, or if there is an earthquake in a particular area, and in that area once upon a time there was a very beautiful ancient temple or a monument, and in that earthquake it is completely destroyed. So the World Heritage Committee can choose to delete that site from the list. To learn more about World Heritage Site, visit the World Heritage Center's website at whc.unesco.org. So here we come to the end of the lesson, children. Most of the question answers which are given here is already been discussed in the printed notes which are given to you. So we will just go ahead with the second activity, that is complete the following. Okay. In complete the following, the year is given, establishment and the role is given. In 1954, it was a plans to build the Aswan High Dam, and the objective of the role was to collect and control water from the Nile River. In 1959, UNESCO launched the international campaign to dismantle and move the Abu Simbel temples to the higher ground. In 1965, a White House conference in the United States called for the establishment of World Heritage Trust. The role was to protect both historic cultural sites as well as natural and scenic sites. In 1968, International Union for Conservation of Nature developed goals to protect the world, and the role was to protect the world's historic and cultural sites as well as the natural and scenic sites. In 1972, International Union for Conservation of Nature presented their goals at United Nations Conference on Human Environment, and the goals were adopted by UNESCO's General Conference, and the role was for the protection of world cultural and natural heritage. So this is all the answers we get directly from the chapter. Okay. Then here you have a web diagram as to why the World Heritage Sites are in danger. Here direct answer is there from the text. World Heritage Sites are in danger due to war, illegal hunting or poaching, natural disasters like earthquakes, uncontrolled urbanization, that is when the city area goes on increasing, heavy tourist traffic, environmental conditions like air pollution and acid rain. So this web diagram direct answer is there in the text. Then you have the fill in the blank. Again, these answers you will find all of them in the printed notes which are being given to you. Match the column. Again, this particular part you can we'll just revise. Match the page to define the different roles of the World Heritage Site. First one, identify cultural and natural sites. Identify cultural and natural sites will be of outstanding universal value across countries. Identify sites of special importance for everyone. Okay, answers are given. Then identify sites that represent best example of world cultural and natural heritage. UNESCO seeks to protect these sites. World Heritage Sites should have relevant developmental plan or policies. Then you have the sixth one, that is World Heritage should preserve outstanding sites and natural resources. Seventh one, World Heritage Sites serve as an asset for economic development and investment. World Heritage Site, eighth one, should ensure green, local based, stable and decent. Should ensure green, local based, stable and decent. Here there must be decent environment or something, one word is missing here, that should have been there. It should at large develop tourism. Okay, that means for example now in Gujarat we have the very big statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and the government of India has been during important programs putting up the advertisement related to this particular place so that many people will visit. So the idea of having this World Heritage Site is many people should know the significance and importance of this, and therefore they should visit that particular place. Activity number 6, look at the words and their meanings, choose the correct alternative. Here I want you to put a capital V and tick mark, learn up this particular part because it is related to vocabulary. Determined, decide, monument, memorial, significant, important, disaster, calamity. Okay, again you have an important question here. Select minimum 8 words from the text related to cultural heritage and make a word register, arrange them in alphabetical order. You have words like ancient, artifact, buildings, literature. Okay, they are all words related to cultural heritage. Complete the following information from the text. Okay, preservation of what is the task? Preservation of any cultural heritage. Okay, what is the duty? Allocate resources for it. Activities which you involve in will be to allocate resources for upkeep, for maintaining it. Duty will be to protect and restore the site regularly. Preserving World Heritage Sites. What is the reason? It is a symbol and a part of every generation's legacy. हमारे जनरेशन में ये पर्टिकुलर चीज बहुत बड़ा हुआ, ये कंस्ट्रक्ट किया गया है, उसको दूसरे जनरेशन्स तक, फ्यूचर जनरेशन्स तक पास ऑन करने के लिए it's a symbol of the particular generation who built it, and therefore it has to be maintained for the uh, next generations. Then what is the reason for it? It must be naturally, culturally significant to humanity, and it is considered to be representing the people of that particular time period. Promoting tourism. What can be the role? Glory of the bygone era in architecture. People are interested in knowing about different periods of history, and people want to revisit history and culture when people visit that particular place. Now, historical World Heritage Site visited, and you can prepare a report on either one a particular site that you have visited, giving information about the title, place, background, special features, signboards, overall discipline. So, write a report on a particular tourist or historical place or World Heritage Site that you have recently visited. Okay, this will be by a student reporter who will be reporting the entire thing. Grammar topics related to not only but also and no sooner than we have already covered in a separate session. Then you have, let's come to the do's and don'ts about preservation of any historical site. What are the various do's and don'ts that you will consider? Obey rules and regulations. Do's are given, and you will have to put down a list of don'ts. Okay, what you will avoid doing at a historical site or at a tourist center, tourist place which you have visited. Okay, do not dirty the surroundings, do not write. So the word do not should come. This particular activity is called a process, and you will write down the word do not. Okay, with every point that you are making. Do not dirty the surroundings, do not engrave your name on the walls or on the trees, do not pluck flowers or destroy plants, do not smoke or drink alcohol, do not put on loud music, do not defecate in the open, do not trespass in a territory which is not meant to be uh, visited. Okay, so these are some of the rules and regulations that can be followed. So therefore, this is the process, do's and don'ts. Then here you have a flow chart. What is meant by a flow chart? When a particular information transfer is used in order to denote the steps or stages of either reaching a particular goal or the completion of a particular task is clearly defined, you will call it as a flow chart. Okay, so here you have options 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are given. Look at the blocks when you have to draw a flow chart or a process, how to prepare tea, manufacturing of a particular item. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks can be drawn, that steps can be one after the other. There's an arrow mark indicating which is the first step and which is the next step to be followed. So here you have 5 columns. They are all of the same size, and then look at the arrow mark. First one will be inclusion of the name of the site from the tentative list to the nomination file. The second one will be uh, first one, take an inventory. Once an inventory is there, inclusion of the name of the site for the nomination and tentative list after and inventory in the state or country. Okay, that is the next one. Then you have inclusion of the name of the site from tentative list to nomination file. Then the next one, a review of the included file by the advisory bodies. After that, decision of the World Heritage Committee after review of the nominated file. And lastly, the name of the site is inscribed in the World Heritage List after meeting the criteria. So it will go as 31542. Okay, the options are given. So when you list it down, it will come as 31542. Okay. The writing skill related to this particular lesson is one is expansion of idea. Prepare an expansion of idea related to travel as a means of education. Okay. When you can put down points related to why any kind of learning, travel as a means of education. Education is not something, or learning is not something that takes place only in the four walls of a classroom. Anyone can be, we can learn from anywhere, from any person or any aspect of nature also can be our teacher. Okay, so therefore from wherever and what from wherever, it can be a person, it can be an incident. When you learn something, then it contributes to your knowledge. Okay, it adds on to your knowledge. So therefore, you can say that travel is also a means of education. A particular person starts learning, in fact, or knowing more, or it adds on to the knowledge when a person wants to visit a particular place or is planning a holiday. He goes, he surfs through the net, various websites in order to find out which place can be visited, what will be the budget, what is the importance of that particular place. So he comes to know about the history, geography, tradition, customs of that particular place, which adds on to his knowledge. Okay, so here then once we know about all this, it adds on to our knowledge, the history and geography of that particular region. Then we know about the currency, sometimes we know about the customs, traditions, the festivals which are celebrated, how the language is spoken, some important words that particular person can pick up if he wants to communicate with the guides or with the driver who is going to take you around to places. Then you learn a few words to either thank them, to say sorry, or some words related to basic manners. So that is one thing. Then you have uh, when you uh, when you really talk about travel as a means of education, an individual learns more only if he is interested. As a traveler, you go from one place to another just in order to relax, and you just enter into the hotel room there, and you're sitting and playing video games in that particular hotel room. Then you don't. Then travel doesn't become a means of travel cannot be said to be a means of education, because one must be good at observing things, noting things, and ponder over it, find out the reasons as to why a certain custom or tradition has been followed by people, about the geography, history, knowledge about it. All this, when the person tries to find out, then it adds on to his knowledge. Okay, so for example, traveling in a place like India, okay, it's like a little world in itself. So, right from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, if you want to travel and visit different places in India, it is going. A lifetime is not sufficient for it. Okay, because there is so much of diversity, there is so much to see that when you observe the diversity and appreciate the diversity present in the different parts in India, at the same time you will also learn to appreciate the oneness or the sense of belongingness to a nation that is there present in the minds or hearts of the people here. So travel is definitely a means of education, but it depends upon the traveler, how much of it he wants to learn and how much knowledge he wants to accumulate. Okay, so one becomes more broad-minded, one understands about the customs, traditions, cuisine, style of dressing, festivals, and so many other things you come to know about the region that you have visited. Okay, second writing skill which is related to this particular lesson is the tourist leaflet. And I want you to prepare the tourist list. Last year in 9th standard also we have done this. So your hometown, tourist leaflet of your hometown, a historical place, a place of natural beauty. You can take up any natural beauty. You can take up Mahabaleshwar, that is hill station. Historical place, you can talk about Mumbai or Pune. Your own hometown is Mumbai. Place of pilgrimage like Shirdi, Tirupati or Vaishnav Devi, and you will get the tourist leaflet on the net. And how to write a tourist leaflet? It should not, unlike a fact file which is written in points, tourist leaflet can be written in full sentences and short paragraphs. How to reach there, accommodation facilities, what to see and visit, attractions of that place, places of interest nearby, best time to visit, shopping attractions, and of course add your own points. I will be sending you separate uh, separate assignment related to this particular writing skill with one or two tourist leaflet as examples, so that you will know what points to be included and how to go about presenting a tourist leaflet. So, thank you, children. Have a nice day. Hope all of you have started revising your lessons. One of the best ways to revise your English portion is to read the lesson at least 6 to 7 times, page wise. Okay, and then try to solve the comprehension questions which are given in the printed notes as well as in the textbook. Okay, whenever you come across any kind of vocabulary questions related to word meanings, idioms, phrases, pick out the word, name the following. These can be, that is related to vocabulary, especially antonyms, synonyms, prefix, word building. Try to put a capital B there and circle it, and you will revise that particular part again and again. This will help you to, it will add on to your vocabulary, and it also help you to remember the word meanings and put down the correct answer in your answer paper. Thank you, children. If you have any doubts, you can get back to me on my personal number. Have a good day.